Hello. So I have a request for a tie-dye tutorial, and instead of just doing the tutorial, I did make 3 brushes for everybody to use for this, and I will have them linked below in the classroom for the tutorial. But I just wanted to show you guys really quick the difference in the 3 brushes, and then I'll show you how I would use them to make a tie-dye pattern. Now, please be in mind of the fact that tie-dye is going to be semi-transparent because it is basically like a bleeding watercolor type situation. So I would definitely use it for a background. And then if you want to use it for alpha sets and things, I would keep a white background or whatever color you want it to be. And then, layer on top of that and use that entire PNG. Because if you try to just do the tie dye and you don't have a base under it, it's going to show through to like a t shirt or anything and it's not going to print well. But I have tie-dye 1, 2, and 3, and the first one is gonna be a multicolor, and it automatically picks it. So what you would do is I just do it in circles. I have a pink picked, so it's making a orange blend with that, and then if I go in and I pick a blue, it's gonna automatically pick a different color, so it's got a dark blue and a light blue, and all you do to make a tie-dye pattern is you're just going to go in a circle. So it's super simple. I just start in the circle and I just try to fill in the area every single time that I've already done, and then I just try to fill in what I've missed. Now, if you need it darker, you can always duplicate, and that will make a darker color because once again, these are transparent layers. You may have to layer it a few times if you want a very bright, bold color. And then I'm just going to clear that. So that is the first brush. The second one is a tie-dye regular. So it's just going to be a one color at a time. And I did put the sizing up on this one to be bigger, but you are able to go in if you would like to, and you can do it. I'm just duplicating this to show you guys the different colors. I feel like that's a little too much. If you need to go in and change the size, it's a double brush. So you just want to go down to properties and then bump down the minimum size. And if I do that is 10%, then I want to do properties and that one's only 2%. So that's fine. So you really only have to change the top brush for this one, and then that will make it a smaller brush. So you go in and it's smaller. And I may change the maximum size just a little bit, and that'll help. There we go. That's a better size. And then these are somewhat pressure sensitive, so the harder you press, the darker they get, plus the amount of times that you go around the layers. And then the third brush is a dual color, but you get to pick your colors. So if I want a pink and I want a purple, then I would pick those colors and it's going to go ahead and blend them. Let me go in really quick and make the same change just to bump it a little bit. So it's going to do the dual color, and then you would go in and you would just pick, let's say I want to do like a school color. So I want to do the blue and the yellow. Then you would pick that and do that. And then let's see, let's do a red and a blue. And then, of course, like I said, duplicate. And I do need to adjust the hue on that one. So give me just a second. Just do the saturation up a little bit. So I'll get that to where it's showing a little bit brighter. Now I just had it. Maybe it's just because I didn't pick a bright enough color. There we go. It was just because I didn't have a bright enough color because I just used it and it was working. So anyway, so in order to make your tie dye, you're just gonna go from the center and you work your way out in a circle. And if you want to adjust the sizing, once again, you just go into properties for the top brush right here, and then you would up the minimum size or the maximum and minimum size, and you can do it there. But so far, the tie-dye one is one of my favorites because it kind of just auto picks the color, but it's so bright and pretty, and I just love it. So, like I said, you just go in and you layer. So I had the red, so I'm going to pick an orange. and then you just try to fill in every single time you do a pass, you just try to fill in the color that you have not already done. So you see the little white areas, that's what you're wanting to do. And so I'll pick a yellow. The brighter the color, the brighter the output, just to let you know on that. And then once again, you can duplicate, but this is just a quick tutorial on like how the tie-dye brushes work, how to edit them if you need to for sizing, and then also how to make your background. So I really hope that this helped, guys, and super excited to see what you make.